Is he the best coach ever, or do y'all give that to Phil Jackson?
I got it to Pop. Pop's my best coach of all time.
I would give it to Pop just because Phil's had more talent.
True, but Pop had all of his success with Tim Duncan. Essentially with Tim Duncan. So it's kind of a toss-up for me. I don't know. You can kind of go either way. You can make arguments for both guys. I would say they're the top two coaches ever, though, for sure. It's kind of like, I guess, with the LeBron and MJ debate, like, you can go either way. Sometimes I'm with Pop, sometimes I'm with Phil. It's crazy, but, I mean that's a lot of wins, bro. 13-36, that is a lot of wins. Shout out to Greg Popovich.
Yeah. I would say Pop is probably, from like the X's and O's standpoint, he's probably the best. The offense the Spurs run. I mean, anytime if you go to the park or go to the open gym and you like have some crazy ball movement, what are you saying? You're saying, oh, we just play some Spurs basketball. Every time. It's literally like that crazy good ball movement, just great team play is synonymous with him. So it's like Phil Jackson did some great things. And I think as far as from the perspective of managing egos and like being a good player coach, I would say Phil Jackson is the greatest. But just from like pretty basketball being executed on the court, it's got to be Pop.
I think the only stain on Pop's legacy is going to be that Kawhi situation, just how poorly that was managed. Because imagine if that didn't happen, like he might have gotten another championship. Because remember, I think it was in 2016, that Spurs team won like 67 games, and they were the 2 seed because the Warriors had the best season of all time. Like, who knows if Kawhi could have stayed healthy and with the Spurs, just how different maybe Pop's legacy is. He might have another chip or two.
Up 20 on the Spurs, man. Or, I mean, up 20 on the Warriors in Game 1. Not saying they would have won that series, but hey. Without Zaza Pachulia, Toronto probably doesn't have a ring. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, that's a big what if for sure.
But yeah, I completely agree with your point, Gabe. Phil Jackson, I definitely think of as more of a superior player manager and managing egos, whereas Pop, from an X's and O standpoint, probably hasn't beat. And Phil Jackson, don't get me wrong, still has a good basketball mind, but I think Tex Winter also helped a lot. From an X's and O's standpoint, comparative to the implementation and the influence of the X's and O's from Popovich on the Spurs. So, yeah, both brilliant coaches, no doubt about it. Definitely the top two.
Yeah, on Phil's side, like managing egos is not an easy thing to do,
no,
especially
God,
when you have you have Michael Jordan, you got Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and then Shaq and Kobe. You got to manage all that. That's not an easy thing to do, but he did that and was able to win 11 championships. That is ridiculous, man. So both of those guys, the greatest two coaches of all time for sure. Whether you want to take Phil or Pop, that's up to you. Either way, those are undisputably the top two coaches in NBA history.
I don't even know who the third would be. Maybe like Red Auerbach, something like that.
Pat Riley, maybe.
Pat Riley. That's a good option too.
Yeah.
But top two it's basically the same as players. Players and coaches, it's like the top two within the field.